Welcome to Asian Anifacts, the channel about Chinese, Korean, Taiwanese actors and actresses. Today I will show you the lists of dramas of So Jisub, Part 3, which includes his role as a university student who encounters a young mute and deaf lady in the countryside while taking photographs of nature in the one-act play Cherished Memories, and his role as a law university student who was torn between his love for a woman and for his stepbrother in the family drama Wang's Land. But before I continue, please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment on who do you want me to feature next. Cherished Memories, 1998. A one-act plays which was aired on June 5, 1998. It is a drama depicting the encounter between a man and a woman set in a tea plantation. The cast includes So Jisub as a man who encounter a mute and deaf woman working in the tea plantation played by Eun-mi, together with Eun-mi, Eun-mi and many more. He played Dong-woo, a gentle, observant, and artistically inclined university student from Seoul studying photography, who visit the countryside riding his motorcycle to capture beauty in nature and people through his camera. Dong-woo saw some flowers on the field and decided to take pictures of flowers and left his motorcycle on the roadside. When Dong-woo returned to his motorcycle, he saw a young lady staring at the open book that he left in his motorcycle. The young lady was startled and ran away from Dong-woo, ignoring him as he was calling her. Dong-woo saw the young lady again riding in a bus, when the bus driver stops to chat with him as the driver was curious about him and his camera. The young lady was named Si-eun, kind-hearted and sensitive, and has a hearing and speech disability, who lives in the rural village with her mother and younger sister. Dong-woo went into the tea plantation, saw Si-eun, waved goodbye at her, but as he leaves, Si-eun chase after him and they collide in a corner that causes Si-eun to faint. Dong-woo ran to Si-eun and tried to wake her up. Once she regained consciousness, Dong-woo wants to send Si-eun to the hospital, but she refused and gestured that she was mute and deaf. That startled him but made her wait as he wet his towel to clean her face. Dong-woo explained to Si-eun that he waved goodbye to her for he was leaving to Seoul, and they always met but could not talk. Dong-woo offered to send Si-eun at her home, but she refused, so Dong-woo gave her a harmonica that he always carries as a gift and promises that he will be back in the winter. Then he left. Wang's Land, 2000. It's a family drama consisted of 32 episodes that premiered on January 1, 2000. It is a sequel to the miniseries Wang's Family, which was aired 11 years ago. The cast includes So Jisub as a law university student who was involved on a love triangle with his stepbrother, together with Park Si-eun, Park In-hwan, Jang Hyuk, Choi Ju-bong, Park Hae-suk and many more. He played Park Min-ho, a law student who passed the first round of the judicial examination. Park Min-ho's father married a woman who has a son who was younger than him, a troublemaker who constantly involved in a gang fight. Park Min-ho's stepmother runs a restaurant whom he treated like her own mother, as she also treated her like her own son. Park Min-ho was being pursued by a rich daughter, but he rejected her and directly told her that he wants to focus on his study, and he has no time for dating. Park Min-ho attended the university with Park Hwa-jong, who aspired to be a cartoonist. Park Min-ho and Park Hwa-jong always went to university together and had developed feeling for each other. However, Park Min-ho can't confess with Park Hwa-jong as he knows that his stepbrother was in love with Park Hwa-jong. One day, Park Hwa-jong confesses to Park Min-ho and was about to kiss him, but Park Min-ho's stepbrother came and saw them. Park Min-ho tried to explain to stepbrother, but Park Hwa-jong directly rejected Park Min-ho's stepbrother and admit that she was in love with Park Min-ho. At the library, Park Min-ho kept thinking about Park Hwa-jong's confession and his stepbrother's word. Park Min-ho was happy that Park Hwa-jong is in love with him as he is to her, but he doesn't want to hurt the feelings of his stepbrother, whom he has a good relationship with despite his stepbrother's personality. Park Min-ho met the rich daughter, and he finally accepted her love, which made her happy, and he agreed to meet her father. Park Min-ho went home and saw Park Hwa-jong was waiting for him on the roadside and wanted to kiss him, but he refused and blurted out that he only sees her as her younger sister. Park Wa-jong, understanding that Park Min-ho doesn't want to hurt the feeling of his stepbrother, accepted Park Min-ho's decision to reject her, and she left with a smile, but cry when she was out of sight of Park Min-ho. However, Park Min-ho caught up on Park Wa-jong and urges her to ride with him on his bicycle. At home, Park Min-ho saw her stepmother, who was chatting with an old woman, and he respectfully greeted her, and his stepmother proudly introduced him to the old woman. Once Park Min-ho was in his room, his stepbrother suddenly barges in and punched him on the face. Park Min-ho's stepmother rushed to see the commotion, but both men refused to talk until Park Min-ho's stepbrother leave. Park Min-ho followed his stepbrother, and they went on a food stall to drink together and resolve the issues between them. The next morning, Park Min-ho was asked by his stepmother about the issues between him and his son, but Park Min-ho refused to elaborate, only told that it was already resolved. Park Min-ho met the father of the rich daughter and was invited to eat together. Later, Park Min-ho's relationship with the rich daughter ended because he didn't love her. Park Min-ho regains his friendship with Park Wa-jong, and they became a couple as Park Min-ho's stepbrother finally accepted that Park Wa-jong can never be his girlfriend, for she only sees him as a friend. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this.